All right, hi guys. I am back to do the second part in my three-part series, which I know now is going to be 3 parts. And this part is going to be how to become an RDA, which is a registered dental assistant. So there are 2 ways that you can become a registered dental assistant. So I'm going to go through those. I have some notes down below, so I'm looking at those, and that's why I'm going to be looking down. But I'm just going to go ahead and jump right into it. So for an RDA, there's 2 ways, like I said, that you can go about it. There's number 1, you can go to a board certified RDA program, and usually most of the time at the RDA programs, they do everything for you there. So you get all of your certificates that you need to apply. And then the only thing that I think that they don't do for you is obviously your fingerprinting and your criminal background. I think you have to do that pretty sure on your own. I'm not 100% sure because I didn't go to a RDA program. I did the second option, which the second option for becoming an RDA would be to do on-the-job work experience. So that's how I did mine. For the on-the-job experience, you need 15 months of on-the-job experience that you need to have your dentist, he or she, sign off and say that you've worked the correct amount of hours, and the hours actually is 1,280 hours. So you need to have your dentist sign off that you have worked that many hours at that office. And then for me, technically, I think it took me 18 months because I was working part-time, but it is the 15 months. So whatever the 1,200 hours comes first. So whether it's, if you're working full-time, I think that would be the 15 months. If you're working part-time, it would be a little bit more like mine. So in that time that you are working on the job, you can start going for your certifications. And the certifications are basically like prerequisites for you to apply for your RDA exam and to get your RDA. So you have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like 8 things, technically 9 things that you have to do before you can apply for the RDA before you get your 15 months of on-the-job experience. So while you're doing your on-the-job, I recommend you do all of those certifications in between so that way you're not wasting any time. And that's how I did mine. So while you're doing that, you can go for your radiation safety, so that way you can start taking x-rays right away and you can be a little bit more of an asset at the office. And but that's the only certification that you can get and start using right away. All of the other ones you have to wait until you get your RDA license in order for you to use them. So the other things that you can take are your coronal polish, so polishing people's teeth, the Dental Practice Act, the 8-hour infection control. I'm pretty sure that that one I had to get right away because you are using, you're working with dirty instruments. And as far as in my case, I'm in a private office, so I use, we also do sterilization as well. So you need the 8-hour infection control so that way you know what the chemicals do and what happens in case of an emergency or injury, anything like that. So you need to usually get that one right away. And then you can get your CPR, which it has to be from American Red Cross or American Heart Association. And then you have to get your fingerprints from the Department of Justice, and the Federal Bureau of Investigation, so the FBI. And then the last thing that you need to get is your criminal background check. So those are all the things that you need to get before you apply for your RDA exam. Now, if I'm not mistaken, when I applied for mine, it was the case that you can do your sealant license or certification before you do your RDA, but it's not mandatory. You can get your sealant license certification, I don't know exactly if it's a license or a certification, but one of the two. You can get your sealant certification after you get your RDA license. You just have to have proof that you have done it by the time you renew your first time, which would be in 2 years. So I didn't really write that one down as far as that goes for your requirements for you to sign up for your RDA exam. So you can do all of those certifications, and then after you do all of that, then you have to send in all of that like in a packet and your application for your RDA exam. So you go on the dentalboardofcalifornia.gov, I believe, and you go to, I believe it's RDA application or something like that. And then they will have like a link for you to download a PDF file and print out the application for the RDA. And I believe they have also the form somewhere on there to have your dentist sign off the hours, if you did the hours, to sign off all the hours that you've done. And then you attach all of your records from your fingerprinting and all of your certificates and your criminal background check all to your application, and you mail that in to the dental board. And then the dental board will get back to you within, I think it's like usually 4 to like 8 weeks or 6 weeks or something like that. They'll get back to you, and then they will send you like a little packet. I believe that I have some of the stuff here that they sent to me. So one of the things that they'll send you is this PSI information, and the PSI is for you to set up your written exam. So there are 3 exams technically that you're supposed to take, but it's kind of changed since I've taken mine, so I'll go into that as well. When I took my exam, I had to do 3 exams. I had to do an RDA practical exam where you do a temporary filling and a temporary crown, and I believe it was 90 minutes that you had to do that, and you do it on a typodont, which is a fake mouth, like a model of like a mouth that has like fake teeth in it. So you have to pass that one, and then you also have to pass 2 written exams, which one exam is basically the law and ethics. So it's all it's computerized, but it's all about, you know, the laws and what you can and cannot be doing as an RDA. And then a general knowledge of, you know, RDA things. That's another exam that you do. So you can't take them, as far as when I did it, you can't take them together. I think now you may be able to schedule them together, but I'm not 100% sure. So for the PSI packet, it just has all of the information on where all of the locations are so that you can go and set up your written exam. And you can do these exams in any order that you want. You can do at that time, you could do the practical if you wanted first and then do the written, or you could do the writtens first and then, whatever you want to do, whatever order. Now, as far as I read and I have seen in the last year and a half, they have suspended the RDA practical exam. So right now is the best time if you want to become a dental assistant. An RDA now is the best time because you don't have to take the practical exam anymore. You only have to take the written exams. So I read online that until July 2020, there's no practical exam, and they're going to reassess it then. But they said they were going to reassess it last year in July, and they ended up extending it. So I'm not exactly sure why they decided not to do the practical exam anymore, but there you go. So once you are done taking your, for me, for the practical exam, I had to wait for my results to come in the mail, and I think it took like 6 weeks or something. It was like the worst wait in my life. And then if you fail, you have to go back and you have to take it again. In my case, I failed the first time. I already knew when I left that I failed because something broke right at the last minute. So then you can go back and you can reapply to take it again. And then for the written exams, you will get your score right away. It'll tell you pass or fail. It doesn't tell you a score, but it'll tell you if you passed or failed right then. So that's really nice that they tell you right then and there. So yeah, that's basically it for becoming an RDA. It's pretty simple. I'm pretty sure that I got everything. If I left anything out, or if anybody has any questions or comments, they can ask me down below. But yeah, so that was my experience for becoming an RDA. It takes a little bit of time and definitely takes some effort, but it's, for me, if you like that type of job, like I explained in the first video, it's very rewarding and it's really exciting, and I have fun every day at my job, so it's been an awesome journey. I would definitely recommend doing dental. It's very, like I said, it's very, very exciting and it's very rewarding, and yeah, I think that it's an awesome job, and I think that it's pretty easy to, not saying that, you know, everybody can do it, but it definitely pays off in the end. And, you know, once you get your RDA, you feel so accomplished and you feel so proud of yourself, and it's just the best feeling in the world. And then for you to be able to start doing everything in the office and helping out more, it's just really, really exciting. If anyone wants to know the negative parts of my job, I would be definitely up to making a video of the negatives of an RDA job, which there's not a whole lot other than you're tired and your feet hurt and your back hurts a lot. But I would definitely do a video on that, the pros and cons maybe of RDA. But alright guys, I'm gonna hop off now and I'm gonna film the next video in this series, and that's gonna be on how to become an EF2 after you get your RDA. And also I'm gonna talk a little bit about my experience going to EF2 school and all of that. So I will see you guys in my next video, and yeah, bye!